Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Keith's Hot Takes. So, on today's show, all we're going to do is talk about both conference games, and I'm going to break down both games, and that'll be it for today's show. No more sizzling headlines for this season. Um, since we don't have that many games, why, not just jump right into the game. So, let's do that. So, the first game is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers visiting the Green Bay Packers. So surprisingly, this is Aaron Rodgers' first NFC Championship game at home, um, and it's supposed to be a chance of snow, be about 25 degrees Sunday. Obviously, they played earlier this year. Tampa won 38-10. Green Bay got off to that hot start. Um, and then Aaron Rodgers threw those two straight interceptions. And then it just went downhill from there. Yeah, it was just a weird game because once he threw those two interceptions, the momentum just swung drastically, and it was just crazy how they were rolling, and then next thing you know, I think both of them were pick sixes if I'm not mistaken. Um, and yeah, but I think the key for Tampa is can the defense force some more turnovers because they got what four last week? Yeah, four last week. Um, and I think they have to make somebody besides Devontae Adams beat them. Because as we know, that's Aaron Rodgers' favorite target. He doesn't care, who's on him. He's gonna throw Devontae Adams the ball. And I think Tampa Bay's linebackers are going to be the key. Just for the simple fact they have some of the best linebackers in the NFL, and Devin White, Shaq Barrett, those guys, they can get after you. I'll be interested to see how their secondary holds up against Green Bay's receivers. Green Bay's receivers are very talented when they hold on to the ball because, as we saw last week, Lazard dropped a touchdown. They kept the Rams in the game for a little bit. So, um, now for Tampa, I think the key on offense is protect Tom Brady and run the ball because in Tampa Bay's 5 losses, those teams have gotten after Tom Brady, and he doesn't do well when you put pressure on him. And Green Bay did a very good job getting after Jared Goff last week. He didn't have much time to do anything, and I was surprised that their defense got after him the way they did because I thought the Rams had a good offensive line, but they had a bad day last week, and I think Tampa, when they're able to have a running game, have some balance, that works much better for them because they got, yeah, Ronald Jones got 63 and Fournette got 62 last week, so that was key for them. Tom Brady didn't turn the ball over; he was safe with the ball, so I think they're gonna have to be able to stop Green Bay from running the ball because they went over 200 yards against the Rams on the ground. They just dominated, and they also dominated in the passing game. So I think the Bucks need to make sure Green Bay doesn't run the ball on them like they did against the Rams. Run wild, protect Tom Brady, be balanced on offense. Tom spread the wealth, and I'll be interested to see how Tampa, a warm weather team, goes into those frigid conditions, possibly some snow. Because we saw the Rams, they're used to being in LA, and they didn't handle the cold well at all. So yeah, we'll have to see how Tampa does in the cold. I think the Packers, their corners have done really well this year. They've kind of had a bounce back. But I think if the Packers want to win, they have to get pressure on Brady and make them one-dimensional. And I think in order for Brady and Rooney to have a chance, I think they need to get off to a good start. So now for my pick. Man, these are two toss-up games. It could go either way, literally. Um, I went with Green Bay as my Super Bowl pick in the NFC. So I'm gonna rock with them. This is Aaron Rodgers' first NFC Championship game. So I'm gonna take the Green Bay Packers here to win. I think this is gonna be a great game. I'm not sure if it's gonna be high scoring or not. We just have to see how both teams adapt to the snow and if it's much snow on the ground or if they get it off the field before they play. But I'm gonna take the Packers, especially after the way they got dominated last year in the championship game. Was it 33-3? 33-8, excuse me, or something crazy like that. Um, but I just think the Packers are going to win. I think they are going to ride this momentum of being at home, playing in front of their home fans, and I think they'll get a big win at home. So, so I have the Packers coming out of the NFC. So let's find out who I have coming out of the AFC. So in the AFC Championship game, we have the Buffalo Bills visiting the Kansas City Chiefs. This is the Bills' first AFC Championship game since the 1993-1994 season. That's a long time. The Chiefs are the first team since the Eagles in 2002 through 2004 to play in 3 straight NFC Championship games. And now the Chiefs have done it 3 straight years. And guess who the coach was on both of those teams? Andy Reid. Great coach. Now, obviously, we know the first time they played, it was a rainstorm. I remember that. I was at a class when this game was going on, so I didn't get to see as much of this game as I wanted to because I was in class, unfortunately. But the part I did get to see was the weather was really bad that night. It was pouring down rain. Neither team really was able to do much on offense. It was a really ugly type of game. Let me pull up the stat sheet from the game so we can. Okay, so let's start with Buffalo. So Josh Allen in that game, he was 14 out of 27, 122 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Josh Allen just didn't have a good day playing in the rain, and I wouldn't expect him to have a good day in those conditions because it was really bad, those conditions. Let's see how they did rushing the ball. So they got 84 yards rushing. They don't really run the ball at all. They're really pass happy. Because I think last week, I don't even think they ran it 5 times last week. But this game, with the conditions, they ran it 23 times. We'll see how they do this week when they play the Chiefs, because it's a chance of rain. It's only 40% chance right now, but that could go up throughout the week. And Stephon Diggs only had 46 yards, 6 catches. That's surprising the way he's been balling out this year. But Josh Allen is going to get him the ball. Know that. So I think the key, I'll start with the Chiefs. First, we got to see how Patrick Mahomes does in the concussion protocol. If he passes all 5 steps in the concussion protocol, I think he's going to play. I think they're hoping he can practice tomorrow. And we'll just have to see how he does throughout the week with that concussion. But I think the Chiefs, they have to find creative ways to get Tyreek Hill the ball, Travis Kelce, Mecole Hardman. That's one thing I like about Kansas City. They find creative ways to get their star players the ball. I think I got a picture of it. I'll show y'all this. Do I have a picture of it? I thought I did. Okay, yeah, I do. So on this play, they got Tyreek running one way, Mecole running one way. Mahomes looks like he's about to, maybe hand it off to the running back. And then you got Travis Kelce, look like he's going out in the flat. And it's just like, how in the world do you figure out who's got the ball? Because I remember in one play, I think Tyreek was in the backfield, Mecole went in motion, and I'm like, are they going to hand it? I thought they were going to hand it to Tyreek, but they handed it to Mecole on like a little touch pass. And I'm like, this offense is so hard to contain because of all their weapons and how Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy do a great job of getting their star players the ball. So I think what hurt the Chiefs last week was when they got in the red zone, the Browns did a good job of limiting them to field goals instead of touchdowns on a few of their possessions that kept the Browns in the game. So I think they have to do a better job of finishing off drives and make sure they get 7, not 3. But 3 is not bad, but you want to get 7, especially if you're up on your opponent. 3 kind of lets them stay in the game more than they should. So obviously I hope Patrick Mahomes is healthy. I hope he's ready to go. It was really scary seeing him get up dizzy like that and almost fall over. That was just scary. I hope he's, getting better. They say he's doing much better. So I think for the Chiefs, getting a run game will really help. I think Williams 13 for 75. I think they're going to need to get some big touches from him, to make it where they can't just pin their ears back on Patrick Mahomes in the passing game. And I think Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy, they just need to continue to find creative ways to get Tyreek and Travis Kelce and Mecole Hardman the ball. And, you can get Le'Veon Bell some touches in there. But I think this Chiefs offense is going to be hard to contain. But let's talk about the keys for the Bills. So watching their game last week against the Ravens, where they held the Ravens to 3 points, they were held to 10 points, but I think the weather, the wind had a lot to do with that. I think on defense, one thing I like about their defense, they're not very big, but they're very fast, especially at linebacker. And in the secondary, they're very fast. I think how many was it 261? Let me scroll back down. Kansas City, 245. Excuse me. So we know how Clyde Edwards-Helaire got 161 last time they played because, like I said, the weather was really bad. You couldn't throw in those conditions. Even though Mahomes, he had 225 throwing, but I think the Bills can't let that happen again for sure. And the Chiefs have this play where Tyreek, he lines up like he's in the tight end position, and he'll go all the way over to the other side of the field, and you have to contain that. You can't let them get big plays off that, because that's one of their big plays on their play sheet. And in critical situations, watch for how creative Andy Reid is, because like on that 4th and inches, I thought they were going to do a quarterback sneak, but they did a sprint option right to Tyreek Hill. The Browns, I don't know why they were playing. I think they looked like they were playing cover 4. I'm not really sure, but they didn't guard it right, because you have to be like right up on them for that play to be blown up. So I think they have to double. I would double Tyreek, and I would double Kelce and make somebody else beat me. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but I think the Chiefs need to double Stephon Diggs, because he's had how many games has he had? 6 receptions. I got it somewhere in here. Let me pull it up. Okay, well I found that. But yeah, if I'm the Chiefs, I would double Stephon Diggs, because one thing we know, Josh Allen is gonna go to Stephon Diggs no matter what. He doesn't care how many people on him. He's gonna find 14 to get him the ball. So if I'm the Chiefs, I double Stephon Diggs. And one thing I noticed for the Chiefs defense, real quick, I noticed how they sent Honey Badger, and I think the guy's name is Sneed. They sent them on blitzes, and I'm just interested to see how these teams, they played once before. I'm interested to see what Leslie Frazier does this time against the Chiefs because he made great adjustments against Baltimore last week. So how does he plan to attack this Kansas City offense the second time around? And how does Kansas City plan to attack them second time around? Because both of these matchups Sunday, these teams have played once before. And obviously the Chiefs and Bills game was close, but Packers, Bucks, that wasn't close. So how do those teams, all four of these teams make adjustments? Because you've seen each other once. So how do you adjust the second time around? I'm looking forward to that. Let me see if I can find this real quick before we go. Let's see. So I found it. So Stephon Diggs has 17 games of 6 or more receptions this season. Nobody has ever done that before. That's exactly why if I'm Kansas City, I double him because, like I said, Josh Allen is going to throw them no matter what, especially in crucial situations. For Kansas City, it's Tyreek Hill. They love to throw him the ball in crucial situations. That's why I would double Kelsey and I would double Tyreek. I had a brain cramp right there. But let me go ahead and pick this game. So I have the Chiefs winning this game. I just think that the Bills they're playing really well right now. They've won 8 straight. They've only lost 2 games. They lost one more game after they lost to the Chiefs in the middle of October. That's crazy. I just Patrick Mahomes, that dude is special. I think he's gonna find a way to win this game. I think it'll be a great game, and hopefully my Super Bowl prediction comes true of the Chiefs and Packers because I had the Packers winning the NFC Championship game, and I have the Chiefs winning the AFC Championship game. So that does it for today's show. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for listening. I hope y'all like, subscribe, share, and I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. We won't have a show next week because obviously it's no games next week, so we won't have nothing to talk about. But I'll see y'all in 2 weeks for the Super Bowl, and that'll be the season finale, and look forward to seeing y'all then. Peace.
Algina on the track.